Stop scrolling for just a moment. Close your eyes. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a quiet forest at dawn. The air is still, the world is half awake, and through the gentle rustle of leaves, you hear it, a whisper, soft but unmistakable. It calls your name. What if that whisper wasn't random? What if it was meant for you right here, right now? You didn't find this video by accident. You might be sitting in traffic, lying awake, unable to sleep, or just scrolling aimlessly to distract yourself. It's something made you stop. Something deeper is tugging at your heart, inviting you to listen. So take a breath. Let the noise fade for a moment. Because what you're about to hear isn't just another storiette, as a reminder that your life has meaning even when it doesn't feel like it. I'm not here to preach or sound overly spiritual. Think of this as a quiet talk between friends. You and me, sitting across a table, coffee in hand, sharing what we've learned about pain, about purpose, about what it means to feel lost and to find direction again. Maybe lately you've been feeling invisible. Give so much hat work at home, but no one seems to notice. Or maybe you're carrying something heavy, a disappointment you can't shake, a mistake you can't forgive yourself for. You laugh, you smile, but when the lights go off, that ache is still there. If that's you, lean in. Because this message isn't for someone more spiritual or perfect, it's for you. All throughout history, the greatest transformations didn't happen in crowds. They happened in quiet, personal encounters. Moses was alone in the desert when he saw the burning bush. Elijah heard a whisper after the storm. A woman at a well heard words that changed her life forever. The pattern has never changed. The most powerful messages come in the most personal ways. Let me tell you a story. There's a man named Alex. For 10 years, he battled addiction. Drugs took everything: his family, his job, his health. He thought redemption was impossible. One night, he stumbled into a small community meeting, high and hollow. A stranger looked him in the eye and said 3 simple words, "You re not forgotten?" Those words cracked something open inside him. That night, he decided to live. Today, he's clean. Mentors others who once stood where he did. Or take Sarah. Her marriage was collapsing. Every conversation ended in anger or silence. She started writing in a journal every night, just one sentence: "Help me see a way forward." Months later, a friend invited her to a weekend retreat. What she heard there gave her courage to forgive and rebuild. Now she and her husband help couples who've lost hope. Those aren't fairy tales. They're real people. And their turning point didn't come from lightning bolts or miracles. It came from a single personal message at the right moment. So maybe the question isn't whether there's a message. Maybe the question is whether we're listening. Because the truth is, most of us live with the volume turned up too loud. Notifications, deadlines, comparison, fear they drown out the quiet voice inside that's trying to guide us. But when you learn to listen, you begin to realize that life itself is speaking. There are 5 truths I believe someone watching this right now needs to hear. First, you are not invisible. Even when it feels like no one sees your effort, your heart, or your pain, your life is still part of a bigger picture. When you stand too close to a painting, all you see are messy brushstrokes. Step back, and suddenly, the masterpiece makes sense. Second, your mistakes are not your name tag. You've failed. So has everyone. You've made bad choices. Welcome to being human. But your past doesn't define your future. If you're still breathing, your story isn't finished. Third, pain can be a teacher, not just a thief. I know it hurts, but sometimes pain gives birth to strength we didn't know existed. Compassion, patience, courage. What feels like breaking may actually be shaping. Fourth, you're closer to a breakthrough than you think. Most people quit at step 99, never realizing the next step could have been their victory. Don't stop. Keep walking. And fifth, your life carries a unique assignment. Think about a seed buried under the soil. From the seed's perspective, it's dark, cold, and silent. Feels like the end. But that hidden season isn't punishment, it's preparation. Roots form before branches rise. Growth always begins in unseen places. So if you feel buried, maybe you're not buried at all. Maybe you're planted. But how do you actually hear the message meant for you? How do you catch that whisper in a world that never stops shouting? Start simple. Be still for a few minutes every day. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. Write down what you feel, what you fear, what you hope for. Sometimes clarity appears when ink meets paper. Surround yourself with people who pull you toward peace, not chaos. Yes. The right voices help you recognize the right direction. Here's something most people miss. The message isn't just meant to comfort you, it's meant to call you. It doesn't just say you're loved. It says you're needed. The very pain you've endured may become the bridge to help others heal. The failure you regret may become your greatest credential. Alex now speaks to others about recovery. Sarah now mentors couples through their storms. Their deepest wounds became their greatest platforms. Your story can do the same. Imagine your life as a vast canvas. Up close, all you see are wild strokes, bright, dark, messy, uncertain. But step back, and you realize a master artist has been painting all along. Every stroke has purpose. Even the dark ones give depth to the light. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" maybe ask, "What is this preparing me for?" That question changes everything. Let me share two more real stories. David owned a small coffee shop. A flood destroyed everything. Most people told him to quit, but he reopened. And for his first week back, he gave away free coffee to first responders. Someone shared it online. It went viral. People came from everywhere to support him. His business came back stronger, and his kindness inspired thousands. Then there's Leela, a student who failed her entrance exam twice. She thought her life was over. But during her gap year, she volunteered at a shelter, discovered her passion for helping others, and now runs a nonprofit for homeless youth. Her failure was actually redirection. Both stories remind us that endings often disguise themselves as beginnings. The message you're searching for is already searching for you. It's not hiding in a distant mountain or behind some perfect version of yourself. It's woven into your everyday life, waiting to be noticed. The question isn't, is it there? The question is, will I respond? Because hearing is one thing. Responding is what transforms us. Pause before reacting. In every situation, ask, what's the wisest next step? Follow the small nudges, send the message, make the apology, take the leap. Small yeses lead to big change. Don't keep your story hidden. Someone else needs the hope you're finding. Share it, even if it's still messy. Especially if it's still messy. We've talked about a lot how pain shapes us, how silence speaks, how every life holds purpose. But let's make it personal. Right now, think of one part of your life that feels heavy or unclear. Maybe it's a relationship, a dream, or a loss. Hold that thought. Now consider this. The simple fact that you're aware of it means you're ready for the next step. Awareness is always the beginning of change. There's an ancient line that says, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made." Another that says, "I have engraved you on the palms of my hands." You don't have to be religious to feel the power of those words. They speak to something universal, the longing to be known, to matter, to be loved without condition. Information alone doesn't change us. Action does. Decide right now on one small step you'll take today. Maybe it's forgiveness, maybe it's rest, maybe it's courage. Just start. A young man volunteered at a hospice center just to earn school credits. He didn't expect much. But week after week, he listened to patients talk about their lives. One afternoon, an elderly man said, "My biggest regret? ISNT. What I did at S, what I didn't do."
Ow.
Those words changed him. He switched his career path and founded a project that helps seniors record their life stories before they pass away. That message spoken by a dying man became the spark for a lifetime of purpose. So, no matter who you are or what season you're in, remember this. You are not alone. You're part of a tapestry far greater than you can see. Even your scars can become signposts of hope for others. Imagine standing on a mountain ridge at sunrise. Below you lie valleys of mistakes and victories, head peaks you haven't climbed yet. Behind you, the winding path of everything that led here. And as the light breaks across the horizon, you finally see it every step. Even the painful ones form the trail that shaped you. That's the power of perspective. So, before this video ends, take this truth with you. You are seen, you are loved, you are needed. Say it out loud if you have to. It's somewhere visible. Let it move from your head to your heart. Ash. And now, I want to ask you. Share it in the comments. Because your story might be the spark that someone else desperately needs today. And if this video spoke to you, stay close. This is just the beginning. We're going to keep exploring how to find clarity, peace, and courage, right in the middle of real life. So don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might be the one that changes everything for you. Until then, remember this: that quiet whisper calling your name isn't random. It's your invitation to live fully, to love deeply, and to step into the story you were born to tell.